In today's MLB recap, we have to talk about the Dodgers being back in business and making more moves. They just traded for a former All-Star who was nasty not too long ago, and all they had to do was give up a guy who's only thrown 40 innings since 2022. The Astros, they got dealt some tough news about one of their best starting pitchers, and Braves fans, they are now bracing for impact about one of their better starters. Not Chris Sale, though. He was vintage Chris Sale yesterday against the Phillies, and he also made some MLB history yesterday. Rays rookie Chandler Simpson stole a run all by himself. He had 3 stolen bases yesterday. He's on pace for almost 80. Well, at least he was. We have to talk about why he's not anymore. And umpires were added again. J.P. Crawford of the Mariners had every right to get this heated. Why was that called strike 3? So we'll get into all of that and more in today's recap. And guys, thank you so much for 550,000 subscribers. We are on the road to 600,000, a million one day. But really, thank you guys so much for growing the game of baseball with me. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Also, super quick, don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek as well as Underdog Fantasy. Use code Fuzzy. Before we talk about the Astros game, we have some brutal news about one of their best starters since last year, Ronel Blanco. He needs Tommy John. He tossed a no-hitter last year. He ended up with an amazing 2.8 ERA across 170 innings. He was really the anchor for a depleted Houston staff. 2025 didn't start as hot, but he was looking better and better over his last few starts. The Astros, they cannot catch a break when it comes to health. The baseball gods have been so mean to them. Jordan's been out, and when he was healthy, he was not very good. Ronel Blanco and Javier both need Tommy John, and Lance McCullers missed a bunch of time, like pretty much the last 4 years. It's been rough for Astros fans over the last few years, just in terms of having their guys stay healthy. Here's the thing about the Astros, though. They always find ways to win games, and if they win this, I believe they'll be in first place for the first time this year. Skipping to the 5th, though, Tampa, they were already up a few. Junior Caminero, the 21-year-old, he drove in 1, which was 1 of 6. Just wait for it, because the Astros, they're storming back. Junior Diaz, he went 430 to dead center on an off-speed pitch. That is some crazy pop, if you ask me. Cam Smith, he scored on a Mauricio Dubon single, and Paredes, he did even more damage versus no, he didn't. Cameron Meisner, he is a stud out there defensively. He's 6'4", and he's pretty fast. He runs like a gazelle out there. He makes the grab. The Rays, they're still up by 1. Well, they were, because Jose cut up to 97, and he hit it out. His 9th home run resets the score. He's back to an almost 110 OPS plus. Tampa said, that's cute. We're going to go ahead and score 10 runs. Yandy and Aranda both drove in 1. Yandy on the single, Aranda on the extra base hit. Junior Caminero, this kid is so sick. He showed off maybe the best bat speed of all time with a 3-run oppo taco. He then had a 2-run double right after that, so he secures a career-high 6 RBIs. He's got 11 home runs, and the last week, he has 12 RBIs and 8 extra base hits in 7 games. Cameron Meisner and Caballero, they combined for a few doubles to drive it up to 13 runs on the day. The Rays offense has been silly over the last few weeks. Junior, he then flashed the leather. They went easy 13-3. Now here's a big update on Chandler Simpson. He stole 3 more bases in this game. He has 5 stolen bases his last 2 games, and he didn't debut until April 19th. He's already at 19 stolen bases. He leads baseball in stolen bases since being called up. He's on pace for almost, well, he was on pace for almost 80. We have breaking news. He just got demoted to AAA. This literally just happened as I was recording. I'm absolutely mind blown. Now, I'm not going to explain it in this recap. I'm going to explain it on my TikTok because I've already recorded it. It's up there. So if you guys haven't followed me, it's at Fuzzy from YT, the same as my YouTube. I promise there's no weird dancing or weird stuff. It's just good old-fashioned baseball updates and stories. If you want to know why Simpson just got demoted instead of other guys like Meisner or Morel, I got you guys covered on my TikTok. Not gonna lie, I think that this game had the worst strike 3 call and the most heated ejection of the year so far. It took 6 innings for this game to get going. James Wood, of course, was the guy who did the damage first for Washington. He sliced a 2-run double to left, and here's that strike 3 call and ejection. This ball was a foot off the plate, and not that far, but it was a bad pitch. You cannot call that with 2 runners on and JP at the dish in a 2-run game. JP was hot. I don't know if this passes Javier Baez's ejection from last week, but both guys, they were steaming angry. MacKenzie Gore, he ended up striking 3 in his final frame. He had 8 more strikeouts, over 6 scoreless. He's the first in baseball to triple digits. He has 101 strikeouts in 68 innings. That is prime Cy Young Blake Snell level disgusting stuff. Leody Taveras, he's taken over. That's an oppo RBI single. He then stole second base, got to third on a wild pitch, and now he's scoring on a Ben Williamson base knock the other way. Leody is now saving the Mariners with his arm. He said, F it, I'm going for the no-hop Hail Mary, and he got Nathaniel Lowe trying for home. That forces extras. And, oh my God, the Nationals, they started going brazy. There was a sac fly, multiple base hits to the wall that just barely stayed in. J-Rod, he was getting bullied out there. Josh Bell, he did get one to go. His 3-run tank made it a 7-run 10th inning. The Mariners, they've lost 2 games in a row now. This is a huge series for the Braves because they really have to showcase that they can compete with the big dogs and get themselves back in serious contention. Rafael Marchan, man, he put the Phillies on his back in game 1 of this doubleheader. That is a 2-run tater off of A.J. Smith-Shawver, who motioned to the dugout that something was off, and Spencer Strider, he was the one that told the manager, go get him right now. Snicker, the manager, was right there. He watched AJ shake his arm a couple times. He's clearly in pain. But the manager for the Braves, again, I'm not trying to age shame, but he straight up seems senile at some points, like he doesn't seem very in tune with the day-to-day stuff of the game, and maybe I blame his staff as well, but I mean, a lot of Braves fans are saying he's got to go. Praying for AJ, by the way. Hope that nothing is structurally wrong with his elbow. The Phillies broadcast, by the way, they were gushing about Strider because he told his own staff to go get the pitcher who was clearly in pain. Max Kepler, he wants a 3-run. Whoa, Michael Harris, he tracked it down. It seems like when he's in Philly, he's playing his best defense and taking everything back. Trey, he singled in one more after that to make it 3-2, but now the Braves, it's their turn for some RBI singles. Both Sean Murphy and Ronald knocked in one, so it's 3-2. Schwarber, he went perfect. 438 feet for his 19th home run. That one's in the second deck. The Braves, they're not quitting, though. This is October baseball in May. Sean Murphy, he tattooed his 9th home run, and Harris, he tied it with a double to right field. This is a fun one. And this is how it ended. Marchan's 3rd RBI came on a bases loaded hit by pitch. He then clutched up with the arm. He hosed Ozzie Albies, which ended up being massive because Jordan Romano, he loaded the bases, so run would have scored, but a strike 3 call below the zone seals it. ABS, the automatic ball strike system, would have overturned that 100%, but we don't have that yet. Atlanta was out for blood in Game 2. Austin Riley, he drilled one down the line for 2 runs. That snapped a 26-inning scoreless streak for Zach Wheeler. He allowed 2 earned runs in all of May. He allowed 4 in 1 inning. Ozzie's got 2 as well, but it was a wall scraper, a 2-run home run. The Braves went off for 4 straight hits in that inning. Luke Williams, the former Philly, he put up a crazy swing on a hundo. It's now 6-0 on 3 2 RBI swings that all but ended it because Chris Sale, he was out there pumping. He was painting fastballs inside the righties all game. He was so nasty that Edmundo Sosa, he swung on a ball that was at the Earth's magma crust or something like that, and some sliders got Trey and Schwarber, which then set up the tunneling for the inside fastball. He was disgusting. 2 more in the 6th. He is the fastest human ever. He made history. The fastest pitcher ever to 2,500 strikeouts. Austin Riley went bye-bye for his 9th home run of the year. He secures a 4 RBI game. The Phillies, they played it a few, but Michael Harris, he turns in another web gem at the wall. The Braves, they went easy in Game 2, 9-3. We'll talk about the Dodgers trade right after this final game. This game was over in like 4 nanoseconds. Ernie Clement, he lifted out a 3-run home run. He ambushed the first pitch that he saw. Bo with another RBI extra base hit for the Jays. Sorry, Bo, I'm going to move pretty quickly to the next clip because Vladdy, he almost dented the roof on this 2-run moonshot that literally almost touched the moon. 7 of his last 8 home runs have come in the last 31 games, which is a near 40 home run pace, so the power is back. Ernie, does he have 5 RBIs now? He does. He hit the Jordan shrug at second base like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it. And also, I do have to show this because after a few innings, the broadcast, I guess they noticed that one kid almost caught 2 home runs. On that Ernie Clement home run, it was in and then out of his glove, so he's like, dang it, I missed one. But then he caught Vladdy's. That will never happen ever again for that kid. Bo, I thought this kid was going to have a chance at being involved with 3 home runs. Bo's been so red hot over the last few weeks. Springer, he lifted one out as well. There's the 4th home run for the Jays, all while Jose Berrios was out of his mind. I want to show all 9. He was razzling and dazzling all afternoon. By the way, when I say all 9, I mean all 9 strikeouts, 6 scoreless, 2 base hits, 9 strikeouts. The Jays, they take it 12-0. They're 28-28 after winning 2 in a row. All right, let's get into that smart trade the Dodgers made. They get the former All-Star and brother of Edwin Diaz, Alexis Diaz. All they had to do was give up a 13th rounder who's only thrown 40 innings the last few years. We'll talk about him in a second. Alexis, he bursted onto the scene with a 1.8 ERA with a near 12 strikeouts per 9 back in 2022 as a rookie. The strikeouts, they were there on the beginning of the next season, but something changed in June. He went from striking out everyone to only having 31 strikeouts his final 36 innings. That continued in 2024, and it perfectly coincided with an increase in hits per 9 and walks per 9. So he was more wild, walking more guys, but also he was figured out by opposing teams. He literally became a worse pitcher every single season, to the point that he was sent down this year to AAA, and in AAA, he has a near 4.7 ERA. The Dodgers, they're going to try and pick him up and fix his slider because that was his big whiff pitch. A whiff is a ball that you throw in the strike zone and the hitter misses it, so you're just straight up nasty. The whiff rates on the slider went from 45% as a rookie to 13% this year. The Reds, they traded him at the lowest point possible, and they get 22-year-old 13th rounder Mike Villani. Now, he does throw gas. He is finally healthy, and he could be nice, but the thing about him is he's only thrown 40-ish innings since 2022. So let me know in the comments, do you think that the Dodgers can fix Alexis Diaz? They fixed Michael Kopech, Blake Treinen, they got the most out of him. They also really helped out Daniel Hudson before he retired. Watch Alexis Diaz get back to a 13 strikeouts per inning, or 14, 15, whatever. The Dodgers voodoo magic, it's probably going to do wonders, right? So unfortunately, those were all of the games from yesterday. So before we end today's recap, let's give an update on all of the stat leaders and standings across the game of baseball. We have a lot of Yankees coming up first. We have Aaron Judge leading everyone in batting average with a .391 batting average. Carlos Rodon, Max Fried there, tied with a bunch of other guys with 7 wins. That is the most for any pitcher. ERA, it is Max Fried with a 1.29 ERA. Home runs, we're going to a Dodger, Ohtani. He's the only guy in baseball right now with 20. And then we have Schwarber and Cal Raleigh with 19. We know that Judge has 18. And then Corbin Carroll has 16. Seiya Suzuki, he's leading everyone with 51 RBIs. You have Devers and PCA, another Cub tied at 50. Saves, Senior Smokey is still number 1. Well, actually, he's tied with Robert Suarez. So you have Andres Munoz and Robert Suarez with 17 hits. Aaron Judge has 81, but Jacob Wilson, he's catching up a little bit. He has 73 as a rookie. MacKenzie Gore, we talked about him today. He's the only guy with 100-plus strikeouts. And last but not least for stats, Luis Robert Jr. has 21 stolen bases. That's 1 more than Bobby Witt Jr. and 2 more than Chandler Simpson, who again just got sent down. The Yankees are the number 1 team in the AL East. They are 35-20. They're a full 6.5 games ahead of the surging Tampa Bay Rays. Then you have the Jays, who've won 2 games in a row. The Red Sox have dropped 5. The Orioles are 19-36. The Central, a lot of people are just writing in Detroit as the winners, but I still believe in my Guardians, even though they have a negative 17 run differential. The Tigers are 37-20. Then there's the Twins and the Royals, both above 500. We're not going to talk about the White Sox. In the West, we have the Mariners, a half game up on the Astros. They're both on a losing streak. Actually, every single team in the West, the AL West, is on a losing streak. Going to the National League, the Phillies, they're 2 games up on the Mets. The Phillies are 36-20. They're 8-2 their last 10. The Mets are 5-5 their last 10, whereas the Braves, they're 26-29. They're trying to catch up. The NL Central is being led by the Cubs at 3 games over the Cardinals. The Cubs have a plus 95 run differential. I think that's second. Yeah, that is second to the Yankees, who have a plus 113 run differential. Then you have the Cardinals, who are surging. The Brewers still have a lot of talent. The Reds, I think they have a lot of talent as well. We're not going to talk about the Pirates. The Dodgers are 2 games up on the Padres. They're 34-22. The Padres and the Giants both have 31 wins. Then there's the Diamondbacks, who are they've lost a lot lately. They're 3-7 their last 10 games, so now they're 27-29. And there's the full update across the league. Thank you guys so much for watching. There weren't any more web gems, so that's it. You guys rock. Thank you so much for everything. And again, one more time, thank you so much for 550K. We're still on the road to 1 million, so hit that sub button.